Right, guys, here we are, MMA UK News. Obviously, myself, Stoomboy, as always, MMA UK BJJ show. Now, it's going to be MMA UK tonight because we're talking about mixed martial arts. So, Evolutionary Combat 11, going to be this Saturday, the 19th of February. Now, it's going to be at Maryhill Community Halls. Absolutely fantastic venue for obviously MMA, grappling, and stuff like that. It's an absolutely fantastic card. We've got obviously grappling to start with. We're going to have obviously Ash Williams coming up from Drake, going to be taking on Shawnee Stewart. Kev McAloon's also going to be taking on Drake's John Malfin. Then we're going to have some Muay Thai, some kickboxing, and then obviously rounding the night off with obviously MMA. And it's going to be headlined by Sean Clancy Jr. versus Aaron Leo. Now, tickets, guys, I keep saying this, there is none available. So Dan Hope, stop messaging Dan Hope. He doesn't have any at all. All right. So yeah, the only place you are going to be able to see it is pay-per-view. Now get yourself onto the Evolutionary Combat page on Facebook. Take you through to live MMA, £9.99, which is an absolute bargain for some of the matchups that you're going to get to see on the night. So we're looking forward to an absolutely fantastic, action-packed Saturday night. Now, my next guest is going to be on the show that night. So Jack Foote of Urban Guerrillas going to be making his MMA debut. Going to be taking on Ellis Pilkington of the Grip House. Jack's been in the game. Obviously, he's only a young guy, but he's been in the game for a long time. So got a lot of martial arts experience, more than most people. So we'll hear a little bit about that tonight. So Jack, listen, absolute pleasure, buddy, to have you on. How you doing?
Just for my own, Stuart. Pleasure's mine, mate. I appreciate the chance.
Oh no, listen, definitely. As I said, I saw the fight coming up, and I was like, I love to talk to everybody, because I normally said before I came on here, most people will talk to the main event or a co-main event, but I'm like, do you know what? I'll talk to every single person, regardless if it's an amateur debut or if it's a guy who's fucking, I don't know, 10-0 as a professional. So absolutely loving hearing the stories about people's training and just the reasons they got into the game. So, but you, I mean, that's what age were you when you first started then martial arts?
First started martial arts pretty young. Started taekwondo at about 6-7-year-old.
Nice.
Trained taekwondo for about 10 years, probably 8, 9, 10 years, I'd say.
Yeah.
Stopped training for a while, started going out with my pals, but then just one night, one of my pals said, "Why do you not come on to MMA gym with me?" So I was like, right, cool, let's do it. And barely missed a day since, man. Totally fell in love, obsessed with it.
And that was that'll be Urban Guerrillas then that you got.
Yeah, that's Urban Guerrillas, aye.
How's the gym there? How's Urban Guerrillas for training wise?
Mate. We're just a wee small gym, but we've got a right close, tight-knit family, and we all train graft hard, man. So it's good. We've kind of got the Thai guys who all train, we've got the Jits guys who all train, and then there's the few others that do MMA, and we just come, we mix it all together, put everything together. So it's a perfect system we've got working.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good gym, Urban Guerrillas. As I said, anybody that's in the area, definitely hit these guys up. I say it's quite a young team as well. There's a lot of young guys.
There's not many old guys. We're all kind of about the same age. We're all in the kind of 20s, so all young and hungry, ready to go.
I love it. That's the good thing about obviously martial arts. I mean, kids nowadays are getting into it, as you said, 6-year-old, and because a lot of kids get into it, and then as they like you, they fall away, and then someone brings them back to it. Some kids, unfortunately, don't come back. So that's a good thing about martial arts.
Nah, totally, mate. It's brilliant. It's totally, I'm obsessed with it, man. I think about it all day, every day.
Yeah, nice. And then, what do you do outside the gym? So obviously, when you're not in the gym, you at college, university, you working?
Work, aye, but I've not really got much time outside the gym. Every single minute outside the work is training. So I'll wake up in the morning, go for my morning run, get my hill sprints in, shoot off to work a full shift, and then don't even come home after work, straight to the gym. 4-hour sessions on the daily, and then back in the house, dinner, shower, bed, repeat.
What time do you get up in the morning?
Get up at 5:30, go for my run at 6, back in the house for about 7, shoot off to the work.
Wow. And how old are you?
20.
20? I mean, how many 20-year-olds are out there doing that 5:30 in the morning?
No many, man. It takes commitment.
Yeah. Now that's what I love. I mean, you see all the young guys that are coming out of Scotland at the moment. Let's say whether it be MMA or whether it be jiu-jitsu or that. I mean, you guys are all focused.
Totally. It's the way you need to be if you want to make it happen for yourself. You need to be focused. You need to stay driven.
Yeah. So how many days a week do you train?
Train 7 days a week.
Wow.
7 days a week. I'll take maybe 2 days off a month if I've got the physio or something, if I'm feeling like I'm run down, need a rest. But I train smart. I'll have days where I train hard. I'll have days where I train technique. So I make sure I can train every day.
7 days, man. Wow. That's unbelievable, mate. So you're never a day off unless, as you said, you've got something going on.
But the physio or I'm feeling run down, I'm like, right, I need a day. But I'd say maybe 2 days a month I'll no train. Rest of the days it's graft.
Nice. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. And then Evolutionary Combat then. So big show. Obviously your amateur debut. So Evolutionary Combat, as they have you been at any of the events before?
I've not been to any Evolutionary Combat events before now, but I'm looking forward to fighting on it. It's going to be a good show. A lot of people there, so I'm looking forward to feeding off the crowd, fighting in front of a big crowd. It's going to be brilliant.
Yeah, it's an awesome venue as well. Mary Hill Community Halls. Always, it's funny because obviously you've got the cage in the middle on the floor, and then obviously you've got the tiered seats all the way around. And then as you come and do your walkout, you're actually walking through the crowd, right? Perfect. So it's like, what's the wrestling team? No, the WWE wrestling where it was like, I don't know. There was a team of guys, Roman Reigns and a couple other guys used to come through the crowd down to the ring. Yeah, that's what it's like, man.
Cool,
do you know what I mean?
Cool.
And you're coming out to your music. Obviously, your music's playing, man, and fucking, as you said, you're getting pumped up, ready to go. So definitely a great atmosphere, and it's loud as well. I mean, see when you go in, you because it's quite high ceilings. Anytime noise is getting made, it just echoes throughout the building. Do you know what I mean? And you can feel the building rocking, man, as you're coming out. Do you know what I mean? Totally. Especially if you've got people there and they're all screaming for you and things like that.
Aye. I love feeding off the crowd. Hopefully it's loud as possible. Louder the better for me. Feed off that energy.
Definitely. Nah, it's going to be a good night. It's going to be a good night. And then what about you? I mean, obviously, Evolutionary Combat. How did you find out then that you were going to be on the show?
So I just had my coach is a promoter too. So I just asked them, I said, let's get fights booked and want as many as possible. And I actually thought I was going to be getting a boxing bout for February. But then he turned in and said, got this MMA bout there for you, Evolutionary Combat, February 19th. You fancy it? I said, of course I do.
Yeah.
So that's how it came about. That's how booked in.
Yeah. And what about the rest of the year? So you mentioned you obviously got some stuff going on for the rest of the year then.
Yeah, busy. I've got a grappling tournament March 5th, got a K1 bout March 12th, got another MMA bout March 26th in Bolton, and then I've got another MMA bout on May the 7th. So keeping active. Going to take a break over the summer, let the body recover, and then get right back to it for August. Hit the last bit end of the year. Yeah. Hoping to get about 9 bouts in this year and as many grappling tournaments as possible.
Yeah, I know that we talked about the grappling tournament. Obviously, Scottish grappling. You're going to be at that on March the 5th. Obviously, I do the refereeing as well, so obviously I'll see you there. It's always a good event, Scottish grappling. I'd say they put on a good event, and I don't think there's any spectators at this one. Like there was one in was it November? Wasn't any spectators because of COVID. And so I don't think there's any spectators. I know you'll be able to get coaches in and stuff like that. So, but spectator-wise, but I mean, that's not going to make any difference to you, is it?
Nah, just as long as there's crowds for the MMA fights, that's all I'm bored with
it. Nice. And then, so obviously March is going to be a busy month for you then. So you mentioned March the 5th, March the 12th, March, the 26th? So it's going to be a busy March for you.
Yep, 1 weekend off in March. The rest of it are active. So that's the way I like to be.
You say a weekend off. It's not really a weekend off because you're training.
I'll be training. It's not a weekend. It's just a weekend of no computing.
Definitely. And then what about obviously grappling? So grappling, you're going to be getting into grappling. You mentioned obviously MMA. Talked about boxing as well. Is boxing something that you're going to be looking to do as well on top of everything else?
I'm not really too focused on boxing. MMA is my main focus, but if a boxing bout comes up short notice and somebody pulls out a card, and I'm there, I'll take it.
Yeah. That's awesome, man, that you can just be like, do you know what, I'll do anything. If I've got somebody there to fight, just fucking put them in front of me.
Aye. If he weighs anywhere in the 60 kilo region, I'll fight them.
Love it, man. I love it. Grappling, MMA, boxing.
It's the way. It's just build up as much experience as possible and just get to the point where nothing phases you.
Yeah.
So I want to just keep throwing myself in, testing myself.
Yeah. Nah, listen, I love it. As I said, I love it. All the young guys I speak to are all exactly the same. They're all got the same mindset, whether it's Urban Guerrillas or Grip House, higher level, or whatever gym in Scotland. Everybody's hungry just to get in there. And I say, you guys are like, well, we fight anybody. We don't really care. As you said there, if they're 60 kilos, around about 60 kilos, then fucking put them in a cage, give them a pair of MMA gloves or boxing gloves, and it's on.
Cage, ring, mat, doesn't matter.
Nice. And then obviously I'll be there on Saturday night, so obviously we'll get to see you. And yeah, looking forward. I think you're the first MMA fight of the night, so you and Ellis are going to be the ones that kick off the show, the MMA part of the show. So so it means you'll be able to get to sit back and watch obviously the other fights and enjoy the other fights as well. Obviously the main event, Sean Clancy Jr. and Aaron Leo. So is there any matchup that you're looking forward to seeing? So obviously out the grappling, the Muay Thai, the kickboxing, or even the MMA.
I'm looking forward to watching the rest of the MMA fight. I didn't really watch any fights before I go out, but I'm looking forward to watching all the MMA bouts after. I'm looking forward to the main event. I think that's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to see how that's going. I've seen videos of both guys fighting before, so it'd be good to see them match up with each other, see who walks out with the victory.
The good thing is, well, Sean Clancy's about your age as well. So
I think he's 19, young for how many fights he's had and the level that he's at now. So it'll be good to get to watch him fight.
Definitely. And then it is going to be an awesome show. A lot of really young guys coming on it, and you guys are setting the standard for MMA going forward, whether it be amateurs or whatever. So, and then final thing for you then, Jack. So obviously you've been in the game for a long time since you were 6-year-old. So anybody you want to shout out to? So obviously any friends, family members, teammates, anything like that.
I've got good to shout out the team. So got amazing coaches down at Urban Guerrillas. We've got our head coach Barry, got our grappling coaches Max and Cammy. I've got striking coaches Liam, Darren, all great coaches there. My teammates too, people that put constant graft on the mats. Just big shout out to everybody that helps us along the way. Mum and Dad too. Mum and Dad are brilliant with just making sure everyone's tied up at the house for me, because obviously I'm barely ever here. So they make sure everyone's sorted up at the house for me and all my food's ready to go.
Yeah. How does Mum and Dad feel? I know that mums are usually a bit, oh no, that's my boy, whereas dads are like, yes, let's fucking do this.
Mine's are the opposite, man.
Right.
My dad gets nervous before he's all right on fight night. Once he sees me in the cage, he sees I can handle myself, he's all right. But my mum just loves the full process. She gets right up for it.
Nice.
She'll be the loudest one.
Because normally we see, like I said this, I've been saying this a few times, Yusuf Kirk out of Crown and Glory. I remember being at Evolutionary Combat 9 and standing with his mum, and his mum couldn't watch it. Couldn't watch it at all. She had her back to the fight the whole time. And do you know what I mean? After round 1, she's like, how's he doing? And I'm like, yeah, he's doing all right. After round 2. So, do you know what I mean? Anybody's dad, you see, like, they're up in front of the cage shouting and screaming, like, yeah, come on.
That's what my dad's like once the fight gets going. But before it, I think he gets a bit nervous. But I was even at the grappling tournament that I went to watch, the last one. I had a guy that was competing. This was the one that had the spectators. And I was standing next to his mum, and his mum couldn't even watch the grappling tournament. He was looking away when submissions were getting put on and everything. I was like, oh, is he all right? What's happened?
Oh, no, that's brilliant. But big shout out to mum and dad.
Loved it.
Yeah, no, that's a big shout out to mum and dad. Looking forward to seeing them on Saturday night, do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, listen, guys, we're going to have Jack Foote, Urban Guerrillas, going to be up against Ellis Pilkington of the Grip House. So it's going to be an amateur MMA fight. This is Jack's debut. But as I say, Jack's got a ton of experience. He's got a ton of experience in different martial arts. So we're looking forward to seeing what Jack's going to bring. So Evolutionary Combat 11 this Saturday, the 19th of February. Only a couple of days now. A couple of days away. So going to be at Maryhill Community Hall. Get that pay-per-view on the Evolutionary Combat page through to Live MMA, $9.99 for some top action for grappling, Muay Thai, kickboxing, and obviously MMA as well. So, Jack, listen, absolute pleasure to speak to you, buddy.
No, it's just on my own, Stuart. I appreciate it, mate.
No, listen, what, you stopped training now? Is that your training done? Just kind of relaxing?
Training's done. Last training session was last night. I went in, just had a couple of rounds shadow boxing, stretched tonight. tomorrow I'll not be doing any training at all, and then Saturday it's time to have some fun.
Fight time, mate. Fight time. Yes. Well, listen, I'll see you Saturday night, buddy. Obviously, stay safe. And yeah, couple of days time, buddy. Couple of days.
Right, no long now.
All right. Take it easy,
Perfect.
buddy. Thank you.
See you Saturday, Stuart. Speak to them, mate. Cheers.
Bye-bye.